حسام الدين.
Yes.
حسام صبحي.
Yes.
إبراهيم صابر.
Yes.
إبراهيم صلاح.
Yes.
كرم علي.
Yes.
خديجة محمد. لمياء.
Yes.
لينا.
Yes.
مها عبد الفتاح.
Yes.
ماهر.
Yes.
محمود عبد العظيم.
Yes.
محمود أحمد.
Yes.
محمود كمال.
Yes.
محمود محمد. محمود محمد. محمود سعد.
Yes.
مي منير.
Yes.
ممدوح صلاح.
Yes.
منال عبد الحميد. منال عبد الحميد.
Yes.
منال علي.
Yes.
منال السيد. منال السيد. منال محمد.
Yes.
منال منير.
Yes.
مروة عامر. مروة عامر. مروة عبد المنعم. مروة عزت.
Yes.
محمد عبد الحفيظ.
Yes.
محمد عبد الوهاب.
Yes.
محمد أحمد.
Yes.
محمد أحمد القصاص.
Yes.
محمد علي عزوز.
Yes.
محمد عصام.
Yes.
مها محمود.
Yes.
Your name? What's your name, Ms. Manel? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today? Are you ready? Okay. Okay, very good. Today our focus is going to be on today and tomorrow. We're going to focus on English pronunciation. Let me remind you of the parking lot. Again, if you have any question, you can write it on a sticky note and post it here. And I'll get back to you at the beginning of every session. Let's revisit the norms. So can someone remind me what some of the norms are? Can anyone remind me what any of the norms are? Yes?
Keep your silent and while you silent.
Keep your phone on silent. Very good. What else? Yes?
Active participation.
Active participation. Thank you. What else?
Cooperative work.
Cooperative work. Excellent.
Positivity.
Positivity.
And punctuality.
Punctuality. Have fun. Respect. Discipline. Communication. Anything else? Don't interrupt.
Motivation.
Motivation. And positivity. Now, do we want to add or change anything from the norms? Do we want to add anything? Do we want to remove anything? Okay. Yes.
Keep our classroom clean.
Okay, I really like that one. Keeping the area clean. Very good. So if we all clean up the area around us, we're going to have a neat learning environment. So keep area clean. Do we agree? Do we all agree with that?
Yes. Yes.
Anything else? All right. Today we're going to be focusing on 3 aspects, and that is, do you want me to dim the light a little bit? All right, so we're going to be focusing on intonation, rhythm, and stress. That's the second session. On the third session, we're going to talk about phonemes, and we're going to start talking about consonant clusters. Tomorrow, we're going to finish consonant clusters, and we're going to be talking about vowels. I took a look at the pre-survey that you've done yesterday about what you know, and a lot of you were on the agree or strongly agree side that I do use intonation and rhythm and stress and phonemes and so on correctly, okay? Or that you know them. I know that you know them because you're English teachers, and I know that you know their transcriptions and you know all the rules. However, let us agree that this is a place where we can practice our pronunciation, okay? So throughout the PD, we're going to be stopping and we're going to be correcting certain words that are pronounced incorrectly. And we're going to practice today and tomorrow. Because me knowing something does not necessarily mean that I use it or I do it, okay? I can know it, but I could not really apply it. Because it's hard, because I forget, or for many other reasons. So we're not just going to know today, but today we're also going to do and apply as well, and practice a lot, okay? So we're going to be correcting for each other, and we're going to be modifying and fixing our pronunciations together. The students, usually, they listen to us and they imitate us, Okay? So we have to be very sure that every word we utter is clear and comprehensible. Again, one thing that I want to talk about before we begin is the variation between American English and British English. Because I am going to pronounce certain words and other people are going to tell me, no, it's pronounced that way. Okay? Some words have more than one way to pronounce them. Okay? Usually, I focus on the American pronunciation. In my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions, American accent is easier to understand, okay, than the British accent. Not anyone can master the British accent, but a lot of people. Good morning. What's your name?
Mohammed Hassan.
Mr. Mohammed, can you just tick your name? Thank you. So basically, the British accent is more comprehensible, and as the American accent is easier to understand. I'm not telling you refrain from using the British accent, but I think that some words, when they are pronounced the American way, it is much easier and comprehensible for the kids, because at the end of the day, we want the kids to understand us. Okay? Just give me a second. Second thing we're going to talk about, there are many types of pronunciation, transcriptions. The one that we are using, and the most common one that is used today, is called the received pronunciation, or the standard American pronunciation. Okay? And that is what we're going to use. So we're going to talk about 20 vowel sounds, not 19 and not 24. Okay? We're going to discuss 20 vowel sounds. They are from the received pronunciation or the standard American English. Can you just check your name, sir? Just check your name, and I need the paper back. So we're going to be working with the received pronunciation, because received and standard American are the most widely used pronunciations nowadays. Anything else is obsolete and it's not really used anymore. Okay? One last thing I want to add before we begin is the dictionaries. Okay? A lot of you would feel like you want to open the dictionary and listen to the pronunciation. I know that a lot of you use Longman. A lot of you might use Merriam-Webster. I am lenient towards Oxford dictionaries. Why? Because they have a variety of pronunciations for a particular word. It's very important for us to understand that word pronunciation, okay, and dictionaries, it's not a single person that creates the dictionary and decides, this word is going to be pronounced that way. That is not the case. Dictionaries are updated a lot, okay? And Oxford Dictionary is updated every 3 months, for example, okay? And the way they update dictionaries is by looking at how the world is using the language. Which problems are they facing, okay? And according to those studies, they sit together and they update. So the dictionary does not really tell us, it's not like a group of people or one person just writing it down and forcing us to use it. On the contrary, they see how people are using it and how other foreigners use it, and accordingly they update their dictionary. So it's the other way around. Okay? So the dictionary is not something that, oh my God, I have to follow. No, there are variations to pronunciation. You can pronounce a certain word differently. And we need to have an open mind when it comes to that. Okay? Not because, the dictionary, I'm going to pronounce it that particular way. No, your dictionary might have one pronunciation only, and maybe there are others. So we're going to have an open mind. And whenever we're looking later on to pronounce a certain word, before we pronounce it in class, we're going to check different dictionaries and see the most common one and most comprehensible form of a word to use. Okay? So I'm not going to depend on Longman only, or the dictionary that I have on my phone. Okay? Because a lot of the dictionaries we have on our phones are free. Okay? And therefore not 100% reliable, or sometimes not updated. So I'm not just using any dictionary and going with the flow. I am checking sources online, on the internet. I'm checking Oxford, Merriam-Webster, Cambridge, and I'm looking at one pronunciation that is comprehensible. Okay? Sometimes you might not reach fluency or complete proficiency. As long as we are comprehensible, that is okay. So we strive to be comprehensible for the kids. Okay? Those are certain guidelines at the very beginning before we begin. Our goal today is to independently and correctly pronounce English words. I am not telling you that when you leave tomorrow, the session, you're going to pronounce every single word in the English dictionary correctly. Because even I come across words that I cannot pronounce and I have to look them up. So the whole point is that they have to have an open mindset and know. You will go out knowing the rules. Rules that you already have studied before. I'm sure most of you have studied them in college or university and so on. But sometimes we need someone to remind us. Someone to remind us to use it. Okay? And that is why I am here, to remind you and to help you practice. Not because I know how to write a transcription. That's not really helpful. Writing a transcription is not really helpful. But pronouncing it properly, that is what we want. Okay? So I'm going to remind you of the rules that a lot of you already know. And most importantly, I'm going to help you and we're going to create a safe space for us to apply those rules. So that when you leave the PD tomorrow, you are ready and you are willing to seek out whatever there is on pronunciation. Okay? Read the transcript properly, check different dictionaries, know where the stress symbol is and the secondary stress symbol is, and so on. Know my schwa, my diphthongs, my triphthongs, and so on and so forth. A lot of the activities that we're going to do, you can use them in class if you're teaching phonetics. Okay, so if you're doing pronunciation or phonetics in class, a lot of the activities we're going to use today can also be used inside your classroom. All right? If you're teaching phonetics, because I know the primary stages, I think there is a bit of phonetics in your curriculum. So you can use the songs and the activities we do today in your classroom as well. So it's also good for you to look at some ideas on how to teach phonetics rather than just telling them over and over. Okay, can you all just look at those pictures here and tell me what you see? You can't see. You can't see. Okay. Better? Yeah. Okay. There is a message with all those pictures. What is the message behind several of those pictures? You have an answer? Yes, go ahead. Sorry, I was away. Can you please check your name? Put a check.
Some people accept the changes and others don't accept the
Some
changes.
people accept changes and other people are resistant to change. Very good, yes?
There may be a difference between what is difficult and what is impossible.
Okay, very good, yes. Update yourself. Very good. What else? What else? Yes.
Great challenge.
Great.
Great challenge.
Challenges. Okay, accept challenges. Excellent. What else?
Yes.
Yes.
Be flexible.
Be flexible. Lovely. Of course. What else?
Use your difficulties.
Use your difficulties and leverage them to your benefit. Lovely. Yes.
Impossible can be turned into possible.
Impossible can be turned into possible. Can we apply all that today? Can we apply all that today? Accept our challenges, turn the impossible into possible?
Sure.
Excellent. Thank you. What I want you to do before we start anything, okay, I want you on a piece of paper, okay, the paper that has your name tag, write one strength that you face with the English language and one barrier or one point of something you want to improve regarding your English pronunciation. Inside your name tag or on a piece of paper. One strength you have and one thing you want to improve. Again, this is for you only. It's not for you to share, it's just for you to reflect.
Group work or?
Individually. You're reflecting individually on yourself and no one's going to see it except you. One strength you have in regards to English pronunciation and one thing you'd like to improve. You want to share it with us?
Yes. The note about the elements inside.
All right, are we done? Did you all write it down? One thing we want to improve and one strength. Are we done? You're so quiet. I don't know if you're done or not. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, again, you can do this in pairs, in groups of 2. I am going to put some phrases on the board, and you're going to decide whether they are true or whether they are false, based on your own opinion. Do that in pairs. So read the slides and decide whether it's true or whether it's false. Total immersion is actually being in an environment where there are only English speakers. That's total immersion. Being in an environment where there are only English speakers. So you're in a place where everyone speaks English only. And this is the only way to improve your English pronunciation. That's total immersion. Okay. As long as you explain your answer, that's fine. Yes. Okay.
The best way. All are false except number 4. It's true. All of them are false.
Okay, so what are some of your opinions? This table, what do you have? This table, what do you have? Yes.
I think all sentences are false except number 4.
All sentences are false except sentence number 4 that deals with total immersion. What does this table have? It's the same. Okay, what about you guys? Same? Okay, that table?
Yes, practice makes perfect, but I would add just one word. Perfect practice makes perfect.
Okay, so
So,
all false
yes.
except number 4?
Yes.
Okay, and that table, that table?
That's it. Yes, that's it.
Agree? I think you had a different opinion.
All the sentences are false.
Why? Why? The debate is on number 4. Why do you think that total immersion is not the best way?
You can develop yourself by yourself.
Okay, so you don't have to be in an environment where they speak only English. Okay. All sentences are false. All sentences are false, including number 4. Because this is what we were discussing yesterday. That total immersion, that you can use Arabic translanguaging as a benefit. Okay? And you can improve yourself and you can improve your English without being totally immersed in an environment. Because a lot of people travel outside of Egypt. Yes, they have better vocabulary and they can speak English better, but that doesn't mean that they speak like the Americans or like the English. They don't speak natively, right? And a lot of people have never traveled to a foreign country, they have lived their entire life in Egypt or an Arab country, and still they have proficiency, more fluency. So total immersion can be one of the ways, but it's not the best way. Because we know that. We've seen people who they did not travel before, and they have been in places where Arabic and English were spoken together, and they still can speak English properly. Okay? Does not necessarily mean that if I go to a country, or if I go to England, for example, and I immerse myself in their culture and their language, it doesn't mean that I'm going to speak like them. Sometimes I can have better vocabulary, I can improve myself definitely, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to have fluency and speak like a native. It is one of the ways, but not necessarily the best ways. For some people, it works wonders, but for other people, it just doesn't work. So it's just one of the ways. We're going to watch that video.
Is this going to use mirrors?
Yes. Sorry.
When we talk with American people or British people, we can understand well. How about when we are talking to Indian people? We found difficulty in pronouncing certain letters.
They or us?
Like the word three, he said three.
Exactly. And in Arabic, and a lot of Arabs say three, like that,
Yes.
right? And they're confused think with sink. And this is a problem because there is a word that is think, and there is a word that is also sink. So it's not only the Indians. As different cultures or different countries, we all have our way of speaking or our errors, okay? And those errors are not there because we want them to be there. We have a certain language which is Arabic, okay? We agreed that there is common underlying proficiency. Some things are common, and some things are totally different, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the sounds in Arabic and English, some sounds are similar, like the B, the B and the B, and some sounds are not similar. So you will find that every single culture has a problem with a certain letter or a group of letters. The reason is because apparently they don't have that sound in their languages. So they make up or they speak the sound that is closest to the sound that they are hearing. That doesn't make them bad or that doesn't make them funny or silly. It just means that they don't have that sound. They can improve it or they cannot improve it. If it changes the meaning of the word, like think and sink, this is changing the total meaning. You're sending a message that you do not, I am thinking is different than I am sinking. Okay? And if that happens inside the classroom, it's a problem. Because your students will keep on thinking forever. Right? So that is why I said comprehensible. We have to be comprehensible. Some dialects, they're English like the French. Okay? They have the r a lot. Right? If it affects the meaning, it's a problem. As English teachers, it's a bigger problem because we teach the language. And the kids are going to absorb, because kids are like sponge. They're like a sponge. And they're going to absorb anything you do. Okay? So this is why if we fix the situation from the beginning, we can deliver the message correctly. Right? So it's not, you have Indians, you have Pakistani, the French people, and the German people, and the Arabs, they all have their own way of speaking. You'll even find that people from Syria or from Lebanon, in their dialect, they tend to extend certain like shoe, and it's extended. And then when in English, they still extend it. What? It's the same. So they're connecting between their language and the foreign language. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
As long we strive to be comprehensible. The reason I am lenient towards the American accent more is that it is more comprehensible. Although the origin of the language is English, right? British. But what's more comprehensible is the American. We have to have an open mindset and accept that. Not because it comes from England, it doesn't mean that I have to speak it that way. Not because my book is British, this is not an excuse. There is no such thing as my book is British, so I have to speak British. There is no such thing. You speak in a language that is comprehensible for your kids. If they cannot understand water because it's not coming out properly, there is no problem whatsoever to say water, because the T is not a silent letter. So it's okay. I speak in a way that is slow and comprehensible for them, regardless of what you're using.
Just one.
Yes, go ahead.
We have no this excuse
Yes.
in reality.
Sometimes, no, I've heard it. Not maybe today, but I've heard it before, that my book is British,
Yeah.
and it comes from a British place, and
Yeah.
therefore I must use the British. I did not hear it now.
Time for English, I would like to give you just time for English is mainly American accent.
Okay? I've heard
So
the
in
opposite.
that, sorry?
I've heard the opposite.
Sorry?
I've
She
heard,
has heard
the opposite.
No. It's American
Not
accent.
from you.
I have it. I have audio of Time for English, by the way.
I
It's
know.
American accent and family and friends in American accent. This
That's
is
fine.
experimental
That's
schools, right?
absolutely fine.
Yes,
But I
yes.
have heard it before, that I've heard this
Prep
exclusively.
stage, British accent, and secondary stage.
No, that is why.
But here
So-
in the experimental schools,
Yes.
we have rich and American.
So this is
And
confusing.
you know this.
So this is confusing for the students and for the teachers.
Yeah.
So we do have that
We
issue.
study both accents.
So you
American
obviously
accent.
don't have that excuse, but obviously you can have
Yeah.
that excuse because the curriculum itself
Yes.
is confusing. So it
See,
starts
you-
American and then you move British. So what do you want
Yes.
the kids to speak?
Yes.
And what do you want the teacher to use?
Yes.
So you
We
do have
teach
that
the
issue.
two.
New,
we teach the
new
two
hello
accents.
in the
Teach the
prep
two
stage.
accents?
Yes.
Which
Yes.
is a bad idea. Because you
Yeah.
teach two accents and the kids are not speaking the two accents. They're
Yes.
speaking something else.
Yes.
So
Confusing.
you're focusing on two things and they're not getting both. When you focus on one thing properly, it is so much easier for you and for them. This is just causing confusion. It's the same language. Pick what's easy. Okay?
Yes.
An American accent, it's easier to improve. It's easier to sound better. With the British, we cannot pronounce things like the British people. It's very hard to imitate how they speak. But with the American accent, it's fine. We're going to watch that video just to cheer us up a little bit. It's funny.
The English have a weird thing with the letter T. Weird thing because sometimes they over-pronunciate the letter like that, and sometimes they ignore the letter completely. It's like, what happened? Where did the letters go? And there are two T's in the word letter, and yet they're nowhere to be found. It's quite hard, right? No, you know, I understand if there's like one T, you just missed it, you know, that's fine, whatever, one T gone, fine. But when there are two T's, you just skip over it like that, it's just rude. It's like the letters don't even matter. The English and their T's, they spend half their days drinking teas and the other half ignoring them. But it's not just the English, every accent has a weird relationship to one letter. Right? Like the Russian accent is the letter Y. They take the letter Y and they put it between every other letter. Take any sentence like this traffic is unbelievable. They'd be like, this traffic is unbelievable! I cannot believe it! We've been sitting here for 15 minutes! And that French accent, they always sound like they're annoyed and miserable, right? It goes like, ugh. This is not true. We are not miserable. Just look at the smile on my face. The sexiest accent in the world is the Spanish accent, yes. Calm down, Puerto Ricans. I'm talking about people from Spain, okay? The authentic, old-time Spanish accent. I wish I had that. It would change everything for me. It really would. It would change, like, my act, certainly. I'd come out here, be all suave, be like, hello. How are you? I am very happy to be here. And accents to me are so strange, but languages are even weirder. Like the Russian accent, that's kind of weird. The Russian language, oh my God. You ever hear anyone speak Russian? It's like, it's like, are you talking backwards? Russian literally sounds like English played in reverse. with someone pressing pause and unpause every second. Like, Japanese. They say Japanese is, you know, it's a nice language. Is it? I don't know. Whenever I walk into a sushi restaurant, they just start yelling at me. That's not a nice language. That's the noise my blender makes when I put something in it I shouldn't have. Oh, I left my spoon in there. That's the problem. I knew there was something weird. And they say that French is a beautiful, romantic language. No, it isn't. Whenever I hear two French people talking, it sounds like they're just mocking each other. It's like, like,
All right. So this is accents, right? That's what you were talking about. We all have a problem with a certain letter. And as Arabs, we do have our own problems as well, and that is because we do not have that particular letter in our sounds, or in our, except the th. We have the th, but we still mispronounce it. Pronunciation, or the pronunciation in general, the elements of pronunciation are as follows. There is intonation, rhythm and stress, consonant articulation, and vowel articulation. Those are the 4 elements of pronunciation. And the very first thing we're going to be talking about today is intonation. What do you know about intonation? How would you define intonation, or what is intonation? Who can tell me? Yes?
Intonation refers to the falling and rising of a sentence.
Exactly. It's the falling and the rising of a sound of a sentence. Very good. Huh?
Music of a language.
Music of the language. That's a very nice description. Yes?
Sometimes they say it's oral punctuation.
Oral punctuation. Okay, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Can I have 2 volunteers? Put your hands up if you want to volunteer. Okay, Mr. Karam, you stand up. Who else? Who else wants to go with Mr. Karam? If you don't choose, okay, thank you so much. Next time I will pick people. All right. I want, Mr. Karam, I want you to read this paragraph in a disinterested way. Do not disinterested. No, not disinterested. Like a robot. Read it like a robot.
Oh, right. Like a robot.
Yes. So you're a robot and you're reading this paragraph.
To be adjusted. To be adjusted.
Yes. What?
هتسجل الحته دي.
Yes, yes.
نشيرها يبقى كرم نطقه زي الزلزال. لو انت هتسجل لي دي في حته ثانيه يبقى سجلها لي بقى عشان ايه؟ عشان ما تصرفنيش معاك يا شغال والله. طب عايز اقول حاجه حضرتك.
Yes, in English. Let's speak in English today. Yes.
But to clarify my idea, I'd like to give an example about our Arabic accent.
Yes.
The difference between اللهجة الفلاحي واللهجة بتاع البلد أو الكايرون accent. Yes. هو في فرقين يا جماعة ما بين وبيعملوا مشاكل اجتماعية يعني. في مشكلة اجتماعية من زمان كده حصلت في أسرتها أو في عيلتي. أنا عمي متزوج من اسكندرية.
English, please.
Yes. My cousin is married a woman from Alex. And it was his first visit to our village here in Sarha, and my other cousin is married from the same village, right? So both women can't bear each other's accents. Here in Salha, in the village, قرب شوية. But here in Alex قرب شوية. بحركات المد أطول. قرب شوية سعيد. And the American or the Karen accent or the Alex accent شوية سعيد. ده جد بالقطر. جد بالقطر. So the problem is حركات المد and فتحة وكسر. قرب شوية قرب شوية. فلا دي طريقة دي ولا دي طريقة دي. Yes. they find I would say the village, yes, or the countryside accent, more heavier, more, yes, on ears. And the Harran accent or the Alex accent is lighter on the ear. But that's why it is more acceptable.
Thank you, Mr. Karam, for that story. Do your reading, please. You're not going to
Yes.
run away by
Okay.
story.
And?
Read it. Robot.
Okay. Oh, those are fabulous privacy bunker. They fill you with bubbles, and bubbles are for a special kind of gas, and this gas is so terrifically lifting that it lifts you right off the ground, just like a balloon, and as you go until your head hits the ceiling, and there you stay. But how do you come down again? Ask the little child.
Thank you, Mr. Karam.
Thank you.
Yes, Miss Amin.
النهارده ان شاء الله اجتماع المستشار في الماده اللغه الانجليزيه. بعد اذنكم عايزين سؤال للمستشار.
Yes.
كل واحد يكتب سؤال في البلوك نوت
Yes.
ورقه يعني هنجمعها بعد 10 دقايق. السؤال طبعا دايركت ومش شخصي يعني حاجه خاصه بالمناهج عايز تغيرها حاجه في التكنيك نفسه حابب تسال فيها بعد اذنكم اكتبوه في ورقه ونجمعها بعد 10 دقايق.
Please, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to write your question. Thank you, Mr. We're going to continue. 2 minutes to write your question, and we're going to pass the. We're going to collect them. 2 minutes on the clock, please, not more. 2 minutes. One question you want to ask regarding curriculums. If you have no questions, that's fine. Good. Yes. 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining. Yes. You want more robot? It's more. We needed more robot. We'll try again. We'll try with Mr. Thank you. Can we all pass the questions forward? Did you write your question, Mr. Karam? You have no questions. 1 more minute.
About Egyptian intonation. You talked about Alex, Sophia, Syrian intonation. Don't forget it.
Good question. Good question. Thank you.
خطوات التعليمية بتاعتهم different from the
7 more seconds. Please pass your papers to the front. Thank you. Pass the papers to the front. Yes. Papers. So. I think the rest of it is underneath your desk. All right, please, papers to the front. Papers to the front. Thank you. Any more papers? Okay, you're good. Papers, please. All right, moving on, I'm going to have my next volunteer. Please read the same paragraph dramatically. Dramatic reading, use your punctuation, use your intonation.
Oh, those are fabulous, cried Mr. Wonka. They fill you with bubbles, and the bubbles are full of a special kind of gas. And this gas is so terrifically lifting that lifts you right off the ground, just like a balloon. And up you go until your head hits the ceiling, and there you stay. But how do you come down again? Asked little Charlie.
All right, my question is, which reading was more interesting? Number 2, very good. Which one was more comprehensible, easier for you to understand the story?
Number 2.
Helps you to understand the meaning of the passage or a paragraph.
Exactly, and how were both tones different? How were both readings different? Yes, how was it different? In what way?
Number 1 is boring.
Number 1 is boring.
Yeah, and number 2 more exciting.
More exciting and interesting.
Yeah.
Do we use different tones when speaking Arabic? Or are we speak Arabic in monotone?
No.
It's not flat. In Arabic, we intonate and we use different tones. Huh?
Yeah.
Yes. What?
Use intonation in Arabic like English.
Exactly. We use intonation in Arabic like English. And therefore, the very first part we're going to talk about today is intonation. Which one was intonated? Which reading? Not reading number 1 or reading number 2? Reading number 2. Intonation is the rise and fall in the pitch of my voice. I do not speak in monotone and I do not do everything in monotone because I am not a robot. Okay? I rise and I fall. Depends on what I want to stress and what I want to not stress, and it depends on my rules. I can send different messages with different intonation.
Yeah.
I can come up to you and tell you, sit down.
Yeah.
What am I trying, which message am I trying to send you? Straight, I'm nervous and you need to sit down right now. And I can come up to you and tell you, sit down. Politely, and then sit down. Is it a question or an order? Sit down. It's not polite, it's a question. So she won't know. If I go up to her and tell her sit down, what is she going to do? Not sit down. She's going to stare at me and she doesn't understand what I want. Is it a question that she wants to answer? Should she sit down? She's just gonna stand there confused. She doesn't get what I want to say. But if I am straight to the point and I tell her sit down, she is going to sit down. So using intonation in my classroom incorrectly can create miscommunication in class.
Yeah.
They do not know what you want to say, and they're going to stand there and they're frozen. I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
Right? So intonation is very crucial to communication. Let's look at those examples. He is going tomorrow. He is going tomorrow. He is going tomorrow. He is going tomorrow. One is a statement, the second one is a question. Which one am I certain that he's going? First or second? First. Which one shows that I am not certain, I'm not sure? Please pass it to the front. Me too. So the next one, I am uncertain. I am not sure.
Yes.
Is he going for sure, or is it a question am I asking? We have two types of intonation. The very first type is calling rising at end and rising, falling at end. And to not confuse ourselves, we're just going to call them rising and falling. Rising and falling. Rising and falling. And when I say rising or falling, I mean at end, at the very last word. Because you do not speak in monotone and then intonate. That's not how we speak. We go up and we go down. Up and down, up and down. If it's rising at the end, then it shows that you're uncertain of something. You're not sure.
Yeah.
But if you close it at the end, he's going tomorrow. You are sure and you're giving a clear statement. You are certain. If I tell you, you shouldn't go there, should you? You shouldn't go there, should you? What am I trying to tell you? What does this mean? Does he know that he shouldn't go there? No. Again, you shouldn't go there, should you? I'm telling you that he shouldn't go, and he also knows, like, انت مش المفروض تروح هناك, صح? Yes, exactly. So I can also say it. You shouldn't go there, should you? I am asking. I am inquisitive. This is a question tag. So with question tags, I have two ways. It's either I'm really asking and I'm uncertain, or the other way, you shouldn't go there, should you? أنت عارف.
Yes.
تعمل تروح. No.
Yeah.
So again, with question tags, it is a bit. It depends on the meaning. It's like the movie, the play. Remember the play أيام كبرت? أنت جيت يا رمضان, right?
Yeah.
And the Amina, her name was Amina? أنت جيت يا رمضان, right? She's inquisitive. So it sounds like أنت جيت يا رمضان. يعني he knows, أنا عارف أنت كنت فين,
Yeah.
right? And the other, his wife, and she's so innocent. أنت جيت يا رمضان, and she's so happy and she's so uncertain and she's so happy. But the son is like أنت جيت يا رمضان, right? It's the same way. And if we do have it in English and we do have it in Arabic.
حاضر يا بابا. حاضر يا بابا.
إن شاء الله.
Yes.
إن شاء الله حاضر.
Yes.
Yes. In order for us to know which intonation pattern to use, we have some rules for you. We're going to focus on the rising at end, and we agreed that rising is you are being uncertain, or you are being polite, or there's incompleteness to your sentence, which we don't want. If you have a yes or no question, if you're asking a question that the answer is yes or no, always make sure you're using the rising intonation. Can you give me an example of a yes or no question? Yes? I need name tags because I'm going to start picking names. Yes? Huh?
Mr. Muhammad.
Mr. Muhammad, can you come up with a yes or no question and tell us how are you going to intonate it?
Can you swim?
Can you swim? Can you swim?
Swim.
Can you swim? Can you swim? Can you swim? Or can you swim? Can you swim? So it's rising or falling?
Rising.
Rising. Because the answer is yes, I can, or no, I can't. Can anyone else think of a yes or no question?
Are you busy?
Are you happy?
Are you happy? Do you hear the A at the end? The sarsa at the end is what we call the rising. Are you happy? Yes, I am happy. No, I am not happy.
Did you study?
Did you study? Do you want it? Are you sad? Yes.
Was he there?
Was he there?
Are you finished?
Are you finished? Whenever you are asking a yes or no question, you have to elaborate your rising intonation at end. Think of it as the sarsa at the very end of the sentence. With a yes or no question, it has to be there.
Please,
And buddy.
if I told him, did you study? So I agree that he studied, of course.
Oh, I'm not at him. Did you study?
For me, it is confused. If you're asking me, okay, if you ask me
I
that,
accepted that he finished, but have you finished?
if you ask me that question, I won't understand what you mean.
No.
You know, you obviously know.
I am going around now,
Okay.
and I know that she finished the course.
Mm.
Have you finished? I'm sure that
Are you, the answer is yes or no. Are you finished? It's still, the answer is still yes or no. So it still should be rising. Did you finish? Right, that's the question you're asking.
the question, but I am inquiring here. I am sure that she has finished.
Then why are you asking? To be sure? So you, again, it's the same thing. So you're done? Are you finished? You know or you don't know, the answer is still yes or no. So it is still rising, regardless of whether you know that she finished or you don't know whether she's finished. You're still asking a yes or no question. She's obviously going to tell you, yes, I'm finished, or she's going to lie and tell you, no, I'm not finished. In either cases, the intonation pattern is correct because the answer to that is a yes or no question. So the intonation pattern is correct. As long as you are rising, it's fine. You know or you don't know, this is different. The you know or you don't know part is with question tags mostly, when you can convey two meanings. Should you or should you? But with the, if the answer is yes or no, then it is automatically rising intonation.
To draw the attention.
To draw their not to draw their attention, but to you're receiving like an answer, like you need a response. Yes.
To make anyone, someone answer you.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Body language, especially facial expressions, should help to great extent in conveying the message.
Exactly, but we're not going to mix up intonation and body language, because if body language definitely helps. But we do have, it should help of course, but we do have conversations on the phone where you don't see the person and you don't see their body language, right? And that is why a lot of you know why a lot of people have misunderstandings while they're sending messages?
Sure.
Why do a lot of people have they fight a lot or they misunderstand each other through text messages?
Yeah.
Why? And you tell them, call me better. Huh? They can't hear your voice. They don't know if you're joking or not. Maybe you're saying something that is like mean, but it's a joke. But because they can't hear your intonation, they don't know. They might misunderstand you.
And punctuation as well.
And punctuation.
Yes.
So never text your wife or your husband.
Yeah.
You're going to fight because you don't really understand what is going to happen. But when you speak on the phone, it's better. When they see you, where you use your intonation and they see your body language, it is even more, it's even better, more comprehensive. The next condition is a statement intended as a question. Exactly like the example of he's going tomorrow, this is the statement. But if I want to intend it as a question, he's going tomorrow, he went out, he's happy, he did that. That is actually a statement, but it is intended as a question. So the question itself is, did he travel, is he going to travel tomorrow? That is the question. Again, is he going to travel tomorrow? Again, it's a yes or no question. So it is still rising. Okay? So usually, statements intended as questions, it's something that we use while speaking, and we don't really recommend using it while writing. While writing, we just write the correct form of the question. But whenever we're speaking, and if we're using a statement intended as a question, because if you say it as a statement, no one's going to answer you back. He's traveling tomorrow. Okay. But when you say he's traveling tomorrow and you intonate, then the other person knows that they should answer and say something. You finished? This is a statement. You finished. That means that you know and you do not want the answer. But if you go up to the student and you tell him, you finished, then he's going or she's going to answer you back. Ali came? Yes or no? Or Ali came. They're not going to answer you back. Statements intended to be soothing or encouraging, because doing the rising intonation, you're being extremely polite. So when you tell a student, you can't come up to a student that's crying and tell him it's okay, you're going to be fine. You don't do that. Say it's okay, it's going to be fine, you really can do it, don't worry, right? Otherwise, the other person will just think that you're being rude and mean and that you don't care. So again, it's miscommunication. Can you think of an example of a soothing or encouraging statement? Yes?
Hello.
This is soothing or encouraging? This is soothing and encouraging? Huh? This is not encouraging.
You can do it.
What?
Hurry, how are you? When you tell me to hurry up, it's not, you're not
He has an
motivating.
exam,
Huh?
he has an exam, and I tell him that time is over. Hurry up.
But this is not, this is giving an order. Hurry up. You can't say hurry up. Can you say that? This is rising. But when you say hurry up, you're giving an order, you're giving a command, right? With command, we use the falling. And it's not soothing. You're not really making them feel better. On the contrary, you're scaring them because time is up and they're not done. Okay? If you want to encourage them in that situation, you can tell them, hurry up. We're almost done. You can do it. This is soothing, but hurry up. It's like, I'm frightening them. You're frightening them, yes.
You are well done.
Huh?
Well done.
Do you say it that way? Well done? Okay.
Well done. Well done.
Can
Well done.
You are well done.
Who can well done? Who can intonate it?
You are brave.
Well done.
This is a question. You are brave?
Yeah.
My answer is to be yes or no. You are brave. Excellent. What else?
It's great.
It's great. Lovely. What else?
It will be the best.
Huh? This is very falling. Good job.
Well done.
امشي بقى. Good job. روح. How are you going to say it?
Wonderful.
Good. How are you going to say it? Intonated with the rising.
Good job.
Good job. Because you're being encouraged. But good job is like.
Wonderful.
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 You're still very sad. Wonderful.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah. if wonderful. مش عارف.
Wonderful.
No, this is your screen. Wonderful.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. Okay. What else?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
It was awesome. Yes.
Amazing.
Amazing. Okay. Those are all. So do you see? We do make mistakes. Although we're trying to be encouraging, but we still sound very dry. So this amazing, awesome, lovely. This is all the rising. I'm trying to be polite, soothing, and encouraging. But if I tell wonderful, okay, hurry up. This is all falling. And when you are trying to soothe or encourage, you need to have that rising intonation. Otherwise, the students will, okay. And good job, okay. And they won't feel really encouraged. They need this feeling. Statements and, okay, unfinished statements, okay? When you are talking and you're saying a statement, and then you're done with the statement, but you use the rising intonation, you'll find that the person is staring right at you. Waiting for what is going to happen next. I went out and I had fun, and then I be quiet. Something's wrong. They're going to still, yes, what else? I went out and I had fun. They know that this is a closure or this is the ending. And a lot of students, when they read out loud, they tend to do a lot of unfinished statements. It was great, and it was so much fun. It was a lovely time. It was a lovely session. Again, do you stop? You can't stop. Your intonation is rising. It means that you have to go on. For you to create this closure, you need to do the following action. It was fun. Can you think of an example of unfinished statement? Maybe something you heard someone say, or a situation where someone was using rising, and you're still waiting for them to continue, and you were like confused? Yes.
When I was young,
Yes.
it's unfinished.
Okay, are you done? I was waiting. Any other examples? Any other examples? Yes.
In the prayer, some imam he said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah,
And stop. Oh, you didn't finish, so you're waiting. In prayer, waiting. Anything else? Yes.
Once there was.
Yes. And he stopped. Okay? So this is again unfinished statement, miscommunication. And by the way, a very good example is the example right here. Because I was really waiting for something. And he actually, that's what he said. So because I really thought he was telling me a story. And I really took it seriously because I thought he was going to tell me a story when he was young and a situation happened. So that happens a lot. So whenever we want the closure in our sentence, we need to make sure we are falling, not leaving it rising. On the other hand, we have the rising falling. We call it rising falling because you rise, or you rise, fall, fall. But in order not to confuse ourselves today, we're just going to call it rising and falling. When you use the falling intonation pattern, it means that you are finished. What you're uttering and what you're saying is finished. You are definite and your idea and your thoughts are complete. Like ordinary statements, like he's going tomorrow. What else? Can you think of a normal statement? Something that you say, just think of a sentence, a normal declarative sentence.
He works
I
as a
went to the
teacher.
supermarket. He works as a teacher. Huh?
He scored a goal.
I'll go with you. Huh?
He scored a goal.
He scored a goal.
I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon. WH questions. So what, when, where, and how? And when? What, when, where? What, where, when, and how, and which? All those questions are answered with a falling intonation pattern, not rising. So you can say, where did he go? When did he leave? You don't say that. You say, when did he leave? Where did you go? Unless you're surprised. When did he leave? No, you can't believe yourself, because this is someone told you something and you have to repeat the question again. When did he leave? مشي امتى? And you're shocked. But if you're asking the question normally, usually a WH question, where did he go? Do you say, how are you? Or how are you? How are you? Not how are you? This is rising. But when you say, how are you? This is falling. So can you think of examples of WH questions using the correct intonation pattern?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What's your name?
What's your name?
Where did you go?
Where did you go?
Where are you from?
Where are you from?
How did you go?
How did you go? Excellent. Imperative sentence, and we're going to stop here. That's not where we're going to stop, that's fine. Imperative sentence is a command, like hurry up. Hurry up. It has to be definite and complete, and it's falling.
Stop talking.
Stop talking.
Study hard.
Study hard.
Be quiet.
Be quiet. Sit down. Huh? Do it again. What else?
Be careful.
Be careful. So any command, it's because you're giving a command, by definition, you are definite and you're sure of what you want. So it has to be the falling intonation. If you say hurry up, incorrect. What do you mean? Should I hurry up or should I not hurry up? Are you asking me what do you want? So
I won't hurry up.
And I won't hurry up. Again, mixed signals and mixed messages. Exclamatory sentences now. Exclamatory sentences are like when you're surprised. He got the full mark. No, not he got the full mark. He got the full mark. He did it. It was lovely. Exclamatory basically means you're surprised. By definition, exclamatory sentences, you're surprised, right? Not because you're surprised, it doesn't mean that it should be rising. Okay? Because rising means it ends with uncertainty. You're not certain. So you can't say, he got the full mark. If you say it that way, it means that it's a statement intended as a question. And someone is going to answer with yes or no. But if you're really surprised, you're going to say, he got the full mark. He got the full mark. I'm rising at got, and at full mark, I am falling. He did it. It was lovely. I don't say it was lovely. This is a question. A statement intended as a question. A lot of confusions happen here. We think that because exclamatory means surprised, I have to do the rising. No. If you do rising intonation with exclamatory sentence, it's going to be a statement intended as a question, which is wrong. So when you are surprised, you are using the falling intonation, not the rising. Otherwise, it would be a question. Can you give me some examples?
He actually did renditions.
Fantastic. Yes. What else?
What a great day.
What a great day. You can't say what a great day. It's exactly what a great day. Yes.
Good evening.
Good heavens. Okay.
Well done, you did it.
Well done. You did. But well done, you did is soothing and encouraging. Right? So well done. You did it. Okay? Well done is like can be encouraging, but you did it can be falling.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Not congratulations. Exactly. Congratulations.
How wonderful.
How wonderful. Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Not oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. What else? Great job.
You are good.
It's beautiful.
I'm really amazed.
I'm really amazed. Okay? But so always remember it that way, because this is where a lot of people get confused. Rising is, it gives you the feeling that there's a question at the end. You are you're not shortening it and you're leaving this is the rising. Rise in my pitch of voice. But when I say you did it, I am not rising. It's the same pitch of voice. Did you go out? I'm raising my pitch of voice. Those are other, by the way, this is in your booklet, and that is in the booklet as well. And we have more elaborated examples here. Again, again, with question tags, it shouldn't look like that. It shouldn't look like that, should it? Or it shouldn't look like that, should it? One, you're actually inquiring and asking, and the other one, it shouldn't look like that, shouldn't? You already know the answer. It's not really a question, it's like rhetorical. So with question tags, it really depends on the meaning you want. Are you like threatening and scaring someone off? Or are you really asking because you really don't know? Last thing is the list. You need milk, flour, butter. What are you waiting for? More. There's the list. So again, with list, you're rising, falling. You need milk, rice, pasta, and butter. You have to close it, and you have to use the falling intonation. Otherwise, the list will go on forever. Because if you're talking to the supermarket, أنا عايزة ملح وسكر ولبن ومية والسوبرماركت أيوة وإيه تاني؟ يعني finish. Okay, but when you close it, they'll know the message. They'll get the message. And we do intonate in Arabic, and a lot of the rules are similar. Can you think of Arabic intonation patterns? So let's look here again, and let's try to make the connection between Arabic and English. Can you think of a yes or no question in Arabic and see if it's rising or falling at end? Yes, Mr. Khan.
Rise and falling.
Rising. We want a yes or no question in Arabic. Yes or no question, but I want it in Arabic.
خلصت امبارح؟
خلصت امبارح؟ Rising or falling? عملت الواجب؟ Rising. ها؟ أنت فرحان؟ Rising. Statement intended as a question. Who can tell me an example?
الواجب انعمل.
Exactly. What else? الواجب اتعمل؟
بابا سافر؟
بابا سافر؟
ذاكرت قبل ما تنام.
ذاكرت قبل ما تنام؟ Very good. So it's still rising. Statements intended to be soothing or encouraging. What do we have in Arabic?
شاطر.
شاطر. برافو. كويس قوي. هايل. Very good. Unfinished statements.
وأنا صغيرة.
وأنا صغيرة. Okay. Falling. Ordinary statement. Yes. Falling. I think yes. We want the falling now. Ordinary statement.
أنت ورش.
أنا رحت المدرسة. كلت الساندويتش. Okay. هنسافر بكرة. Excellent. WH question. In Arabic, I don't think we have WH questions. But yes or no. غسلت أسنانك? Yes or no. كيف ذهبت إلى المدرسة؟ كيف ذهبت إلى المدرسة؟ Very good.
امتى صحيت؟
أنت صحيت is yes or no. أنت صحيت؟
امتى وين؟
امتى صحيت؟ Yes. متى استيقظت؟ Very good. Excellent. Imperative sentence. Command. اكتب. اكتب الواجب. اقف. اقعد. اكتب. بطل شقاوة. Exclamatory sentences. ده حلو قوي.
ايه الحلاوه دي؟
ايه الحلاوه دي؟ شطور.
حتى كلابهم بتتكلم انجليزي. حتى كلابهم بتتكلم انجليزي.
ده yes or no question. بس انت مش فاهم كده؟
Even their dogs speak English.
This is a question.
Oh.
Their dogs speak English.
Yeah.
So basically the rules are the same, right? The rules are exactly the same in Arabic and in English. My reflection now. Why is it important to learn about intonation? Why is intonation part of pronunciation?
It's not confusing.
Understand, be less confusing. Okay? Can that help you improve your speech orally?
Yes.
So whenever I think of intonation, I think of communication. Intonation, communication. So the very first thing, or the very first aspect of intonation, because intonation is used for more than one thing. So I have intonation, communication. But intonation has other uses as well. It has other uses as well. But before we move on to the other uses, I think we have an activity. Yes. So in your group, I have 6 questions, and you're going to 6 statements or questions, and you're going to read them, and you're going to decide on the intonation pattern that should be used. And once we're done, you're going to pronounce it and model it in class. Work in your groups. You have 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Begin. The intonation pattern. Again, guys, this is scaffolding, giving you a piece and a prize. Just a picture. When is he coming? When you say when is he coming, which intonation pattern should you use? When is he coming? When is he coming? Make sure you practice them together. Practice them, intonating them together.
Falling, she, falling, going, rising, should you? I visit your partner. Should you? I visit her today. You need a pencil to go. Falling.
When is he coming? Do you agree? No. Can some
All the biology questions are falling.
Okay, next, this table over here. Who's she? Who is she?
Falling.
Very good. So it's rising or falling?
Falling.
Fall. Then next, this table.
Are you going out?
Are you going out? Rising. Very good. Next, yes. Both. Can you model both?
Are you going out?
Number 4.
You shouldn't eat chips, should you?
This is rising or falling? Again, let's use rising or falling. Let's use rising or falling. Yes. Exactly. Rising or falling. Can you please model it again? Model it again, please. Where's that?
You shouldn't eat chips, should you?
Rising, falling.
Falling?
Rising.
Should you? I think it's rising. Do you mean rising or falling? Rising. Should you? Okay, can you do it the other way?
Should you?
Should you?
All of it together. Read the entire sentence.
You shouldn't eat chips, should you?
This is rising or falling?
Falling.
Falling. Can you say it again?
You shouldn't eat chips, should you?
Should you? This is falling. So it can work both ways depending on what meaning you want to send. Number 5, this table.
I'll visit her today.
I'll visit her today and it is
Falling.
Number 6, this table.
You need a pencil.
Rise
and fall.
Okay, can you pronounce? Okay, let's give her a chance to say it all. Say it all, Ms. Manal.
You need a pencil, notebook, textbook, and highlighter.
And a highlighter. So rising or falling?
Rising, falling.
Rising, falling.
Falling.
Answers. Okay, more practice. We're doing the same thing with something that is a little bit difficult. Let's try that again. You have 4 minutes this time because there are a lot. 4 minutes, begin.
You are falling. وبعدين الفاميلي ده family and friends ده بريتش كوليكتيف مش امريكان. لا امريكان اكس انما المنهج اللي عندي الريتم بريتش ماشي. لا يعني مثلا انا درست مثلا على سبيل المثال المنهج برين ده امريكان بسبب الكتاب بيتكلم كلمات الامريكان بعض الاشياء وطريقه كتابه نفس الكلمه. فور اكزامبل مثلا ممكن كلمه كلر، كلر امريكان وزاوت يو، كلر بريتش اكيد مش امريكان، اكيد مش امريكان.
Yes, rising and falling and
بتكلم على كتاب نفس الكتاب كتكست مش اي كلمه. ماشي تزود على المنهج، اقول لك ده ريتم واورال، ده وده الاثنين مش حاجه هو المنهج اورال بس. لا طبعا ما يكتبوش زي ما انا امريكان اكتب زي الامريكان لانجوج زي ما هي موجوده، زي طبعا الامريكان في الكلمات في الجرامر وفي الجرامر بس في الكلمات وفي الجرامر نطق طبعا كده واضح في امريكان في كلمات مختلفه وفي جرامر مختلف. جرامر مختلف. فور اكزامبل الامريكان بيعملوا كده I have a car, I haven't a car. ممكن say I haven't a car. لا أو related برضه I haven't. So for American, for وجود الجرامر انها تستخدم I haven't for American. Curriculum is British. This can use I haven't. Of course. So our books are British. American ليه؟ لأن كل الكلمات حتى اليوسج وانا القصه مش سلسله كامله امريكان الاثنين مع بعض. لا انا صراحه الموضوع انجلش لانجوج او انجلش لانجوج مش قاسم انا اخد الايه كده زي لا تقول هم مش الموضوع ده مش موضوع ايوه البرونسيشن
remember there are dogs means that all things complete. Rising and falling. Already? You're going now? You're going now? You are going now? You're going now? So it's rising and falling. How? You're going now. What is the original question for you are going now? It's yes or no? It's not about the verbs. It's not about the verbs at all. You're going now. He's going tomorrow. He has fun, so it's a statement, but it's intended to be as a question. So it is Are we all done? All right. Norms? Thank you. All right. Table number 1, Mr. Karam's table. Start with that one over here.
Okay.
Model, and then we're going to decide whether it's rising or falling. Anyone from Mr. Karam's table?
Are you traveling?
Are you traveling? Rising or falling? Rising. Rising. Because what kind of question is it? Excellent. Next, this table. You are the best. Rising or falling? Falling. Because if it's rising, then it's going to sound like you are the best. But it's an exclamatory, so you are the best. Third table. What do you think?
Already.
Okay, so can you intonate it? Already. Okay, listen to the way Mr. Muhammad is saying it. Can you say it again? Already? You didn't say it like that. Already, so it's rising or falling? Falling. Again, Mr. Muhammad.
Already hesitation. Already yes, this is falling.
How?
Already?
Already. Yes, who said it? Already?
Unfinished already.
It's unfinished because there are dots. So is it a finished statement or an unfinished statement? Unfinished. So if it's unfinished, it should be right. Already? You said it right. Norms. Thank you. You said it right. But the way you said it is rising. Already? This is the rising because it's unfinished. Next. Yes.
You are going now?
You're going now? Okay, rising or falling? Rising, because it's a statement intended as a question. Very good. Next. This thing.
Where does she live?
Where does she live? Where does she live?
Okay, one person only so that we can hear. Where? No, I want you to intonate.
Where does she live?
Where does she live?
Falling.
If I was to turn this into rising, then I'd say, where does she live? Where does she live? I can say that. Maybe someone told me where she lived and I'm surprised. Where does she live? Okay, second thing, like you couldn't hear. Like say it again. But if it's repeated. But if it's not repeated, you're just asking the question. It's falling. Where does she live? Okay, because it's a what kind of question? WH. And WH is falling. Yes.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Fasten your seatbelt. Rising or falling? Rising. Fasten your seatbelt? Falling. Okay. Mr. Karam, again. Let's wait.
Fasten your seatbelt.
Miss Manel. This is falling because it's a what? Command. Fasten your seatbelt. Command by definition, you're definite of what you want. So you have to do that falling. Fasten your seatbelt. Otherwise, when you fasten your seatbelt, not clear. How nice? Or how nice? How nice? How nice? So it's rising or falling? Falling. Yes, this table.
I'm going home.
Again, one person, so we can hear.
I am going home.
I am going home. Rising or falling? Falling. Miss Huda?
Don't run.
Don't run. Rising or falling?
Falling.
Again, Miss Huda.
Don't run.
Don't run. Falling. Because it's a command.
Yeah.
If I want it to be rising, then I'd say, don't run. Don't run. This is rising, but don't run. This is falling.
Yeah. Yes.
This thing, Mr. Mr. Mahmoud?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Mahmoud, the last one.
You don't smoke, do you?
You don't smoke, do you? Rising or falling? No, the one he said right now. Can you say it again?
You don't smoke, do you?
Rising.
Can you make it falling now?
You don't smoke, do you?
They're the same.
You don't smoke, do you?
This is still rising.
You don't smoke,
Yes.
do you?
Still rising.
Rising.
Huh? I want it falling.
Yeah.
Yes. You don't smoke, do you?
Exactly. You don't smoke, do you? Very good. You don't smoke, do you? Do you? Do you? It's all rising. You don't smoke, do you? No, this is still rising. You don't smoke, do you? This is falling. It's like you're talking to your son and you're confirming.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the answer key. A lot of falling. Take a look at the answer key to check your answers. Who got a 10 out of 10? Who got the full mark? No, nobody.
All of us.
Who got one wrong? Who confused one?
All of us.
You all got the full mark? wrong? More than 5. 3 wrong? 2 wrong. It's okay. Very good. Okay, elevator speech. I want someone in 30 seconds. Okay? So each group in 30 seconds, and I'm going to time you. 30 seconds for each group. You're going to send a representative, and they're going to give an example of rising intonation and falling intonation, and tell me why intonation is important. Okay? I'm going to give each group 30 seconds only, so prepare what you're going to say in 30 seconds to summarize all what we talked about. Go ahead. Start discussing with your group. Take your representative. Take your examples and your definition and why intonation is important, and present in 30 seconds.
Another story? No.
Once I did from my point of view, we have story from our point of view to summarize most of what we
30 seconds. You have exactly 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Examples of rising intonation patterns of second.
Why is intonation You're the best. Great job. You can do it. Great job. You can do it. This is right. But if I say you did it, you say you did it or you did it. you happy? Are you happy? Are you happy? Happy in the questions and answers? Yes, what? Yes, I'm happy. Are you happy? Did you all prepare your 30 seconds? This group, do you have your 30 seconds?
Yes.
Okay, and that group, Miss Manel's group, do you have your 30 seconds? All right. The other Miss Manel's group, do you have 30 seconds? Are you ready? Yeah. Okay. Mr. Muhammad's group, are you ready? Or do you need more time? Ready? Okay. Ready? Okay. I'm going to start with Mr. Muhammad's group, the group at the back. Let me time you. Okay. 30 seconds. This is an elevator speech. In an elevator, we sit in an elevator for 30 seconds to 1 minute. So that's why we call it an elevator speech. It's a strategy that we can use inside the classroom. So please, representatives, stand up. Where's the representatives? Someone different. Someone different. A new face. Ladies. Come on. Okay. Wait, stand up so we can all hear you. Can you please? Okay. You have 30 seconds. You have to listen. You have to listen because it's her time.
For every button?
Huh? She's gonna... For every button? No, 30 seconds for the whole thing.
For every button, yes or no question, WH question.
One rising, one falling. In 30 seconds, you have and 1, 2, and 3. Go.
Did you go to the cinema?
Listen.
I went to the cinema. Rising is the second is fall. Intonation is communication. When you want to communicate correctly, you can use the intonation to speak correctly. The other can understand you. So the student is understand you and they do what you want.
Thank you. Thank you. That is absolutely right. Next group. Go.
I want sugar, cheese, and he's leaving now. This is writing language. Intonation is of great help for communication and makes the receiver get the message correctly.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. Next group.
Yes.
Your representative. And go.
You didn't do that, did you? You don't know, do you? The question is, why is intonation important? First, it conveys the speaker's message clearly. The second, it prevents misunderstanding among people.
Excellent, very good. Next.
Yes.
And begin.
Dr. Muhammad told me this story was a situation that happened when he was studying for PhD in London. He had brought his family to live with him in England, and often he would take them to the park to enjoy flowers, fresh air, and some fruit. One sunny day, as they were eating in the park, a big smell of the food and came closer to the family. Amshi, Amshi, said Dr. Muhammad. Amshi, but the dog didn't want to go.
4 seconds.
Then Dr. Muhammad's 7-year-old son spoke up and said, Papi, is that dog? Time is over.
So you were saying a story with a dialogue, right? With rising and falling intonation. This is a very good way to put it. So nice idea. I like it.
Thank you.
But time is, time.
Yes, it's
Okay, Ms. Manel's group at the back. Oh wait, go.
This is falling. For the question, intonation is very important to distinguish between the meaning of two sentences and helps you to communicate easily with the others. Helps students or my kids for listening to clear instructions from me.
Excellent. Thank you so much. However, when you say stop talking, you should be more firm, and it should be more stop talking. Okay? Stronger. Stronger, Miss Manal. Okay. Stop talking. One other thing I want to show you related to intonation. This is called the humming strategy. This is going to help us feel the different intonations more, because some people still, it's confusing to the ear. So this is called the humming strategy. What you're going to do is in your group, you are going to use the intonation pattern to hum it, not to say it. So when I say, who is she, I'm going to hum it. Okay? Yeah. This is a good way to make you really feel and really hear the and okay? You have 6, do all 6 in your groups, and then we're going to present to the rest. Do not be shy. Okay? Yeah, begin.
One with these?
No, you all the do all 6. And begin. Don't be shy. Okay, you have the first one. Who is she? So how are you going to hum it? So I want to practice it. Because when you practice it, you're going to feel that. Okay? This is a feeling activity. Feel your intonation. But it's going to help you. Really going to help you hear and feel.
اصور دي خليك على البوست
This is an excellent strategy to use in class with kids for intonation, because they're not going to hear it from the first time. Their ears are not going to catch it quickly. With the humming, they are going to feel it more. So this strategy we can take to our classroom. And they're going to like it. But they like anything that is weird. Are you done humming? Pick your representative from now, so that when the time comes, you don't stare at each other. Okay? Pick the person now. No excuses. Who's your representative? Who's your representative? Him again, give somebody else a chance. Mr. Mohammed, what's your name, sir? Mr. Mohammed wants to do this. He really wants to do it. Give him a chance this minute. Okay? Yes. Mr. Mohammed, you're responsible for humming. Who's gonna do it?
Yeah.
You're gonna do it. Yeah. No one else wants to participate?
They are always involved in it.
I know. Why don't you try? What's your name? Mr. Hussein, I feel that he wants to do it, but he's shy to tell you.
Okay.
Mr. Hussein?
I will do it.
Okay.
It's our day. هذا الشرط الكرت
لا فهم ازاي؟
Who's going to be a representative? Who's the victim? Is the victim? He will. You ready? All right. Norm. Thank you. Okay. First victim, Mr. Muhammad.
Yes.
Mr. Muhammad Huda. I know that Mr. Muhammad practiced very well for number 3, so you can do number 3. You want to? I feel like you want to do. Number 3 is gonna give us 2 options. So we have to decide which one is rising, which one is falling. Go ahead.
You shouldn't eat chips.
Why are you talking? You're humming.
I'm humming.
Okay, rising or falling?
Rising.
Rising. We're gonna see. Try the next one.
The next one from number 4?
And same one. No, number 3 or falling.
You shouldn't.
Humming.
It's the same.
It's rising. I want one rising and one falling. Give me do the falling.
This is falling.
This is falling. Very good. Number 6, Mr. Hussein. Mr. Hussein really wanted to do it. He's so excited. Again, didn't hear it. So didn't hear it. Number 6. Okay, can you try it? Okay, so when is he coming? Rising or falling? Falling. Can you try it again? This is rising. No, not because I'm not together, because not with the head. Again, I am not giving up. Again, try it one more time. When is he coming? Leave. Someone else wants to help?
I want to listen it from you.
Huh? Okay. Let's listen to it from someone else first. Who wants to try the same one? And then I'll do it. Who wants to try it? It's number 6. Can you try it?
Yeah.
One person. Okay, anyone else? Yes. Right. This exercise is very important. Very important. Huh? Exactly. Not because this is rising or falling. Falling. Again? Very good. Give him a hand. Okay. Number 5. Mr. Yes, this group over there, Mr. Muhammad. Yes, number 5 is easy. Now we can't hear you because we have to listen. We have to listen to Mr. Muhammad. needs a pencil, notebook, textbook, and a highlighter. It should be that long. Hum it as if you're going to say. That's very easy. Okay. Nice. Again. Exactly. You need a pencil, notebook, textbook. Very good. Number 4 is very easy. Okay, which group didn't do theirs? Oh, okay, I'm going to pick random people. Mr. What's your name?
Muhammad.
Mr. Muhammad, go ahead, you're doing number 4. Number 4. I will visit her today. No, it's not what I'm asking. Hum it, please. I will visit her today. Again. Continue. This is very long. I will visit her today. Very good. Number 1. Did we do number 1? Number 1. Let's do number 1. You can do number 1. Who is she? Not if it's then who is she? And it's rising and it's actually falling. Who is she? Are you going out? Are you going out? Rising. Can you try it again? Are you going out? Yes, can you do it? Let's listen again. Yes, Mr. Mahmoud. Muhammad.
Are you going out?
Yes. Excellent. Are you going out? Excellent. So the is the rising. The is the falling. And do we feel it better now? Yes. Very good. Very good.
We only have 5 minutes before the break.
Yes. I know.
Okay.
Let me just. We said that intonation affects communication, right? Intonation affects something else as well, and it is attitude. If I told you, hello, and then if I tell you, hello, how is the first one different from the second one? Hello? Hello?
First one, you are not interesting.
Yes, interested. Not interested. I'm not happy.
Second one, you are happy and you are ready.
Exactly. So what are some adjectives for the first one? Hello. Can you think of adjectives? Unhappy, not interested, bored. What else? Sad. Sad. Annoyed. Annoyed. And if I tell you, hello. Cheerful, happy, fun, nervous, angry. That wasn't it. Hello. Angry. Welcoming. Yes. Very excited and so on. So, the way I intonate things can give a lot of messages related to my attitude. Okay. I want 4 volunteers. 4 volunteers. 4 volunteers. Okay, let's have someone else other than the last volunteers, please. We want to give chances for other people. I'm going to have you, please stand up. And I'm going going to have Miss Marwa. Please stand up. Have you? Please stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. First group is Miss May and Mr. Muhammad. Miss May and Mr. Muhammad. You are going to role play. You are going to read this dialogue for us as if you hate each other. You're not happy to see each other, and that, yeah. Okay. Mr. Muhammad, you can be Mr. Muhammad. And Miss May, you can be Mr. Ahmed. Okay? Begin.
Hello, Muhammad.
Hey, Ahmed.
I don't expect to see you here.
Yes, I was running
Some
errands.
Yes, بس القرف بقى شوية.
Do you need any help?
No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm almost done here.
All right. Why don't you call me? We can meet up soon.
Sure, I will.
Very good. Now, the next two volunteers, you're going to have this conversation, but the opposite way. You're happy to see each other and you're really excited and enthusiastic. Go ahead. You can be Ahmed.
Hello, Muhammad.
Hey, Ahmed.
I don't expect to see you here.
Yes, I was running some errands.
Do you need any help?
No, thank you. I'm almost done here.
Right.
I'm almost done here. Rising. I'm almost done here.
Almost done here.
Alright, you don't call me. You can meet up soon.
Sure, I will.
Thank you. Okay. How are both readings different? What the first group? How would you describe them? They were sad. Are they happy to see each other? No. Yes, they were happy. No, they were not. And the second group, were they happy to see each other? Yes. Were they sincere and nice and cool? Yes. Did the dialogue change? No, the dialogue, the conversation changed. The conversation is exactly the same. So you can send different messages through intonation to convey and to show your attitude. So intonation is not only about communication, but it's about attitude as well. Attitude is very important with intonation. If you are hello, so happy to see you here. It's different than hello, I'm so happy to see you here. So it really affects the attitude. Same wording, different message, different attitude, different intonation. Our activity now, we have 4 different tasks, okay? Group number 1, and that is Mr. Karam's group. You're going to create one dialogue in English, in the English language, intonated with interest, okay? Group number 2, which is that group, you're going to create another English dialogue, but intonated this interest. You don't like each other, you're not happy with each other, like, okay? Group number 3, back there, you're going to create the dialogue in Arabic, okay? And it's intonated with interest. So you're happy to see each other and so on, but you're doing it. You're doing it in Arabic, okay? You're so happy to see each other, there's the role play, and you're going to act this, okay? Group 4, created in Arabic, this is, okay? And group 5, you can first task again. English dialogue, okay? Everyone be prepared to act.
We have no time for this exercise.
We will continue it next time.
Okay? It's 10 o'clock now. I have only 15 minutes break. It's almost done.
30 minutes break.
50. 15 minutes.
15
minutes break.
Okay, we have 2 more minutes.
Okay.
Mr. I love breaks.
Just 1 minute. هو في الفيديو كله قاعد ولا هنا بس؟ هو الباص طويله معاك طب مونتاج معاك خلاص بريك. يلا
خلاص كده؟